The KVI DIAGNOcam uses a well-known type of technology known as DIPHOTI, which is digital imaging fibre optic transillumination. Essentially, it scans the patient in a matter of minutes, identifying a range of occlusal, secondary decay, cracks and fractures, much more than your conventional type of diagnostic tool. Now, this technology displays a clear X-ray-like image, but without radiation. I like to think of it as a glass-like image that allows you to see the tooth in 3D. This is typically what to expect when you're using the DIAGNOcam. As you can see from these images, occlusal decay shows up as dark marks. So if you have pit and fissure staining, the DIAGNOcam will transilluminate through the staining and only identify the carious aspects. Interproximal decay really is quite easy to see, due to the fact that you can see very clearly the breach between enamel dental junction. For recurrent decay, it's going to show dark shadows underneath the amalgam restorations. That's essentially where the digital imaging and the fibre optic transillumination is transilluminating through the tooth. So what you see is a clear difference between the amalgam restoration should be and where there is actually recurrent or secondary decay. For cracks and fractures, it's going to show you a clear difference in colour between the enamel and the fracture. Obviously, the ones to be more concerned about would be the cracks and fractures that have opened up and are black. For example, you can see here that the crack has started to go black, which indicates the entry of bacteria. Therefore, the demineralization has started to happen and decay process has also begun. This is a typical example of a posterior tooth fracture. Stress fractures and cracks will also be displayed, but as a lighter colour, not necessarily black. The ones we'd be concerned about would be these. When we use radiography in practice, we don't necessarily take an X-ray every time we're concerned about a tooth. The DIAGNOcam can be used every visit and is proven to be more accurate than radiography. Instead, say the patient may have interproximal decay. You can show them what it looks like at the appointment and then review it again in 6 months' time. That'll highlight to the patient the extent of the decay. For instance, if you don't floss properly, this is what's going to happen. It is going to visually show the patient the damage currently to the tooth. The DIAGNOcam is proven to be more accurate than radiography, therefore it's a really good tool that you can use at every single appointment. When we look at the DIAGNOcam, it does tick all the boxes because it can detect a range of caries and problems quite easily. The patient doesn't have to clean and dry their teeth, it's literally plug and play. Essentially, the DIAGNOcam tool plugs into your USB on the PC or laptop. The handpiece of the DIAGNOcam has 2 infrared lights, which emits from the handpiece. Then there's a black tip which has 2 arms, and those arms will straddle the patient's tooth. Those arms actually carry the transillumination. So you can imagine the tooth is here, the arms are around the tooth, and then on top of the tooth is the camera lens. So essentially it's recording that data and transferring it back to the computer. The DIAGNOcam uses near-infrared light transillumination. When enamel is under this frequency of light, it becomes more sensitive. Therefore, lesions appear dark. What we get is dark lesions, which can be defined as occlusal, interproximal, secondary decay, cracks and fractures.